Leena lived in a small, quiet town surrounded by endless fields of sunflowers. The townsfolk were simple people who valued practical skills, farming, weaving, and crafting. But Leena wasn't like them. She didn't know how to plow a field or weave a basket. What she did know was how to paint. Her tiny room in the attic of her family's home was her world. The walls were covered with her paintings, sunsets that seemed to glow, forests so lifelike you could almost hear the rustling leaves, and portraits of people whose eyes seemed to tell their life stories. But none of her work ever left that attic. Leena's heart was a battlefield of doubt and hope. She'd stand by her window, staring at the sunflowers swaying in the breeze, thinking, what if my art isn't good enough? What if they laugh at me? So, her masterpieces remained hidden, gathering dust in the shadows. One day, a traveling artist named Mr. Darien arrived in town. He set up a stall in the marketplace, displaying his vivid landscapes and colorful abstracts. Everyone flocked to him, marveling at his talent. But when Leena wandered through the market, she overheard whispers. "Art's a nice hobby," someone said, "but it doesn't feed you." Leena's heart sank. She clutched her satchel tighter, knowing it held a small canvas she'd almost brought to show Mr. Darien. She turned back toward home, her dream of sharing her art extinguished, again. That night, the wind howled through the town, rattling shutters and slamming doors. Leena, lost in a painting of a moonlit river, barely noticed when her attic window creaked open. The gust tore through the room, scattering her sketches and paintings out the window. She panicked, grabbing at the flying papers, but it was too late. Her art was gone, carried away into the storm. The next morning, Leena crept through the streets, her heart heavy. But what she saw stopped her in her tracks. A group of villagers had gathered in the town square, holding her paintings. "Look at this sunset," one of them said. "It's so warm and alive, it feels like home." Another chimed in, "And this one? It's the old oak tree by the river. I've never seen it look so magical." Leena's cheeks burned with a mix of fear and awe. She wanted to run, but her feet wouldn't move. Mr. Darien stepped forward, holding a small painting of hers, a young boy sitting under a tree, his face lit with quiet determination. "Who painted these?" he asked, his voice filled with wonder. The crowd murmured, looking around for the artist. Leena took a trembling step forward, her voice barely above a whisper. I did." The crowd turned to her, their eyes wide with surprise. For a moment, there was silence. Then, to her amazement, someone began clapping. It was Mr. Darien. Slowly, the others joined in, their applause echoing through the square. Leena's heart swelled with a warmth she'd never known. Tears filled her eyes, but they weren't from sadness. She felt seen, truly seen, for the first time. Over the next few weeks, Mr. Darien helped Leena set up a small gallery in the town's community hall. People from all over came to see her work, marveling at the way she captured the beauty they'd never noticed in their own town. Leena learned that her fears were just shadows, and the moment she stepped into the light, she became the star she was always meant to be. Moral: your talents are not meant to be hidden, they may light up someone else's world.